We are in the semi-final round of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship presented by Barbasol. This is at the Matt Keats Memorial Disc Golf Course, a redesign at Nevin Park that is extremely hard. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're the two Hot Geese.
Honk.
Another really beautiful day out at Nevin's. You know, as long as you miss the trees, you're going to have a good time.
There's only 8 competitors today. We have the 1 through 4 seeds meeting the 4 that have made it through the play-in and the quarterfinal round. We see Kristin Tattar, Paige Pierce, Catrina Allen, and Ohn Scoggins are 1 through 4 seed after a long year on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah, pretty nice to have the bye, I'd imagine, but also, you know, Valerie Mandujano shot 5 down yesterday. Was probably feeling pretty good, and like these ladies didn't necessarily have the practice, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, hole 1, 252 feet, straight uphill. There is some out of bounds that goes all the way down the left-hand side and the right side as well if you catch a tree and kick either way. If you go deep or finish out left, you can find it as well.
All right, everybody, welcome to our FPO lead card round of the semifinals of the 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships presented by Barbasol. At this time, let's all make a lot of noise for Kristin Tattar, Paige Pierce, Catrina Allen, and Miss Ohn Scoggins.
And the grand entrance
There they are.
through the Johnsonville Brought Archway.
Majestic.
What a way to open up your morning.
Let's do it. Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Kristin probably needs no introduction, but I'll just review what she's won this year. She won Jonesboro, the Dynamic Disc Open, Des Moines, Worlds, the Green Mountain Championship, and she's been on the podium since last year, 2021 Worlds. Every time.
Every time.
And
What a stat.
bringing that sweater game.
I
also.
felt like you weren't finishing your sentence, but no, that was it.
Yeah. That will putt for sure.
Yeah, she's got the fall outfits on lock.
Paige Pierce, our second seed, has won Texas State's Champions Cup, OTB, the Preserve, and the European Open. And with that European Open win, she has won the most majors in FPO history at 17.
Wow. She gets an early left kick on the right side of the fairway. Unfortunately, it finds out of bounds.
Brutal kick.
It's going to be a tough save for par, but likely looking at a bogey.
Catrina Allen has won the Las Vegas Championship, Idlewild, and is just fresh off her Throw Pink victory last weekend.
Bunch of W's on this card.
Yeah. Ohn, the only one I will have biased commentary for all around, so sorry in advance. She secured this bye spot over Missy Gannon in the last round of MVP in like the last few holes, tying the course record with a 1,008 10-down round. That's a solid shot. Bit of a putt though. So there is a drop zone on this hole, but you only go there if you didn't cross inbounds at all.
And a nice pitch up the hill. Tap and bogey. Catrina with a long look for birdie right around the circle's edge.
Catrina from just outside the circle. Just a bit low. Looks like a tricky putt here for Ohn with a tree in her way. Oh, she's good for it. Oh, Ohn is serious today.
I don't think it'll last.
In a good way. And Kristin making it look easy like she does.
Ohn leading the FPO field in Circle 1 and Circle 2 putts. during the year.
And scramble, I think.
8th in scramble.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
Circle 1 and circle 2. Oh, wait, this is just at the championship.
I'm pretty sure she's first for scramble for the year.
Let's see. Oh,
Catrina with a par, Paige starting with a bogey. Hole 2 is a par 3. It's 352 feet. It's downhill, left to right. Really calls for a sidearm if you have it. The backhand can definitely get there, but you want to beware of cut rolling into that OB on the left. Check out that top left graphic there. If you want some sweet merch, discgolfsocks.com. They got socks. They got all your small clothes. I don't know.
undies.
Yeah, they got what you need. This course is very sidearm friendly. A lot of left to right moving shots. Kristin's going with a rive here.
And that's the play to push that back wall, but it is scary because of that right there. Just a couple feet earlier, she would have checked up onto the green.
I think she'll have a longish putt. Ohn, master of the flex shot. Great at both backhands and sidearms.
This is one of the few fairways where you have room to work that shot.
Yeah, it only gets narrower as we go. Really solid shot from Ohn. Great shot from Catrina as well. Super clean.
Paige opting for the backhand. First one on the card.
I thought it was early, but boy, that's understable.
Yep.
Wow.
Really wide line. and
Awesome
she-
shot.
Yeah, just outside the circle for birdie.
Great trust. Wow, this has got to be pretty close to circle 2 edge for a par save.
Oof. It checks up just before the out of bounds line, but just outside the bullseye for a tap and par. Catrina with a floaty bid. Ooh. Ohn and Paige from similar distances.
Paige is a little bit more at OB. Its band stays safe. Paige with the longest comebacker here for par.
This out of bounds caused us to play as one of the top 5 most difficult holes of the day.
Huh. Kind of a rare comebacker miss for Paige. So crazy, there's only one other card out there too.
Yep, they're about 4 holes ahead, maybe 5 holes ahead.
On that card is Missy Gannon, Valerie Mandujano, Evelina Solonen, and Holland Hanley.
If we didn't make it clear yesterday, the top 4 scores go on from just this one round. It has nothing to do with what you've shot in the past days. So everyone's probably paying close attention to the scoreboard the entire time. It's a kind of a live or die here.
Yeah, definitely gonna see some aggression, and maybe people running things that where they might normally stay safe.
303 feet, but this one plays a little bit shorter than that because there's a 20-foot elevation drop on this very narrow fairway. There's also a big drop right behind the basket as well if you come in too hot, so you want to meter your speed as you come into the green.
Thanks for all your support this year for the 2 Hot Geese and GK Pro. We do have merch at gkprodisc.com/shop if you want to get anything for the holiday season's coming up. Get some candles.
Lots of home goods, candles, aprons, mouse pads. Just what you'd expect.
Wow. Own work in that flex shot. That works out pretty well. It's pretty straight.
Yeah.
Like the T-Sun makes it look a little bit more left to right than it is, I think.
Yeah, I think I like the backhand here more than the sidearm.
It's tight for a sidearm.
But crashing into the green right is not bad over there.
Catrina had a really good shot, but kind of an unfortunate skip to the left.
Yeah, as long as you go past the basket, it opens up pretty nicely.
Maybe we do like the sidearm.
Yep. As long as it's not early. Uh-oh. There's that drop off behind the basket.
It'll be about 40 feet for Kristin coming back at it. Paige throwing a fierce. Paige not quite dialed yet. Pretty wide patent pending stance from Paige here, trying to scramble.
And that'll check up inside the circle. Catrina just pitching out, kind of an awkward stance, doesn't really give it a bid, just going to take her par here.
Kristin for birdie.
Strong
Almost.
side, just a little wide.
Katrina for
I didn't realize her pitch
par.
up.
Yeah, I thought it was a little
landed.
closer.
Me
Is that like
too.
25? She's
Solid,
good for it.
though.
So the scores we've seen in the past, a 3 to 5 down is probably what a lot of these women are aiming for. Of course, you're playing the field even more than you're playing the course, which is always interesting.
Keeping it under par, you do give yourself a good chance of making it through. I think 5 down, we saw Valerie shooting yesterday, is, I think it could be hot for the weekend. We'll see what happens.
Paige, or Ohn for a birdie. Crowd loves it. She's 2 down now.
Ohn,
3.
one of only 2 birdies from the 8 competitors. Evelina Salonen getting the other one.
Checking in with our other 4 competitors. So far, Missy Gannon shooting hot, 3 down through 6.
Wow, that's so good out here. 3 down through 6 is wonderful. Everyone else, even par or worse besides Ohn Scoggins, 2 down through 3. What a start. And that even par is going to be sitting right around the cut line all day, I'd be willing to bet.
Hole 4 is a par 4. It's 548 feet downhill. We saw big arm Missy Gannon go all the way across this out-of-bounds creek. We see maybe 2/3 of the way down the fairway. Being downhill, you can definitely get across with a good rip. Otherwise, if you lay up being slightly on the right side or maybe the middle is best, you then go back uphill. Really good sidearm shot, though you can get a backhand flex there as well. As long as you don't go in that OB creek, I feel like
You're good.
you're going to have a look for birdie if
Yep.
you throw 2 decent shots.
You really do have to commit off the tee to one or the other, though. Like, you're going
Yeah.
for it or you're laying up, and don't do anything in between.
Even the layup's kind of hard, though, because it can scoot out of bounds so quickly. It's very steeply downhill. I think it's 32 feet of drop. Ohn. Well, it's perfect, so.
Yep, that worked out great. Just kind of backboarding back onto the fairway, and that is nice out here at Nevin. That's all you could ask for.
Yeah, I think it's tough to get all the way across because you have to throw really straight, and it's easy to kind of yank one over to the right to get the extra power.
Catrina catches a tree and unfortunately kicks out of bounds into that creek in the middle of the fairway. Kristin looks like she's going for it as well. She's skirting through the right side and looks like she gets tangled up early.
No, she made it.
Wow.
I mean, kind of lucky, but cool. She's smiling. Looks like a passion early. Across as well?
No way.
Left side and right side.
Just barely crossing over. That'll work out great for a little sidearm or a backhand turnover. Ohn flexing one up from the short side.
Looks solid. Oh, did that bounce off the base of a tree and hit basket? That's crazy. Oh, that would have been too cool.
That is a rip uphill, too.
Yeah, and she did it standstill.
Catrina doing the same
Perfect.
and almost drawing medal as well.
Kristin a bit more tangled up on this right side. Kind of just chucks it at the trees and doesn't quite work out, but she's this uphill circle 2 putt left.
Paige with a nice backhand turnover, puts it out wide. Have a little bit of work left to do on the green, downhill. Kristin for her birdie.
Takes a lot of power to get it that much uphill. Oh, she misses high. Great commitment.
Paige takes a knee to get a little more level with the basket.
Yeah, it's a pretty steep slope here.
Oof,
Splash out.
that was a lot of chains.
Be a par for Paige.
Ohn with a birdie.
And almost throwing. Kristin tapping in her par and Catrina as well.
What could we have here?
Fancy stuff here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good quality, super stiff, pretty grippy too, I would say.
I think I would throw every disc in this plastic.
Behind every face is a story, unique, each and every one. Beautiful stories, inspiring stories, some beyond our wildest dreams. And every day, a new story begins. We salute every fearless, self-assured, undeterred, hopeful face all across America. Here's to the next 100 years. Barbasol.
Hole 5 played as the third most difficult hole of the day. And that's largely in part to this first very narrow gap. The rest of the fairway, you go straight for a little while, and then it gently fades to the right for the second half of the fairway. It's a 30% drop, 30-foot drop in elevation, and that's what makes the second half of the fairway very difficult. There's also a large drop behind the basket, so you have to be very careful coming in to the green.
Also, there was like 2 more gaps you kind of glossed over that are just as hard as the first one.
They might be even more narrow. Oh, and then of course the out of bounds.
Yeah, don't forget.
The out of bounds behind the basket, just around circle's edge, so it definitely comes into play on the approach.
Classic North Carolina golf. Just so many trees.
This feels like a forehand would be better here, but I'm surprised to see Ohn pull out the backhand.
She gets to that shorter tee pad, so presumably there's a line there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it opens up the second shot.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, neither of us have gotten to play this, so a little bit of guesswork here. This is what I assume most people are trying to do. That looks perfect.
That looks great.
Like, beyond perfect. Nice shot from Catrina. Kristin gonna show us the sidearm. I think you do have to get the sidearm to push pretty straight, which Kristin is very good at.
Yeah, I'm visualizing like a flex line. That one, I think, is coming out too early. It also gets a right kick into the woods.
Paige just going placement shot here with her fierce.
That is a rip of a placement
Yeah.
shot.
Well, yeah, she's pretty good with those putters, huh?
Yeah, dead center fairway.
Beautiful.
That's all you can ask for out here. Kristin up near a brush pile.
Yeah, pretty deep on this right side.
It's a sharp angle because that fairway does go to the right by itself. She gets that hyzer line, some good ground play, and she's dead center, easily able to play for par.
Whoa, Ohn dealing with this
Some action.
Trash can. Yeah, some action's a good way to put it.
Oh,
Hi. Oh, I liked it.
that was a good looking shot. Some nice commitment to the downhill.
Paige with a relatively open look. As open as it gets out here.
Looks like she might have put a little too much on it. She was begging for it to hit. It did, and it checked up way early.
Huh.
Catrina with some funny ground action, and she's got a leaner.
Yeah. A little more protected on that right side.
Protected.
Yeah. Yeah. The basket is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, oh,
Stop.
oh no.
Stop.
Oh,
Dang it.
that was rude.
They don't even know. Kristin's third.
Look at this little flex approach. That is perfect.
Oh, yeah. Her touch on her sidearm upshots never cease to amaze me.
It's a finely tuned skill. Catrina pitching out from the rough. She'll have a no-nonsense tap in par.
Oh, man.
God, it's just a wall.
Paige
She'll
gets-
have a look.
Yeah, most of the way out. One last tree to deal with. Still about 40 feet out for Paige's par.
Thankfully, that tree checked it up nicely, just outside the bullseye.
Nice putt.
What a bogey save after that unfortunate out-of-bounds roll.
Kristin with a great par after being early right off the tee.
Oh.
Boy, that's one you want back. Paige moving to +4 on the round.
Dang, and a double on this type of format feels bad.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain momentum out here.
Yep. I mean, it's not easy to pick up birdies either, so once you get those doubles adding up, whew.
Hole 6 is about as open as it gets out here, 242 feet uphill, so it does play a little bit longer, but you can get, you know, a mid-range up there. We saw Ella yesterday get a putter all the way up there. Just throw straight and get some height under the disc.
Yeah, this plate is the easiest hole of the day.
I think it
with
did yesterday too.
more than half of the competitors playing today getting birdies.
Great shot from Catrina. The foliage taking a little bit of speed off and leaving her just inside the circle putt. Kristin with a verdict that looks perfect.
Wow.
Bullseye hit.
Ohn just kind of cruising at this point. 2 down through 6. Definitely in
With a bogey,
contention.
too.
Yeah. She kind of turns it over, gets a little tree kick, but not quite up onto the green for Circle 1 regulation. Paige just wanting to birdie this one after being 4 over par. There's still some work to do here. She can definitely find her way into the top 4. Hey.
A little right side, but gets a friendly tree kick into the bullseye.
All that matters is that little blue on the scorecard.
That is true.
Ohn giving it a good bit uphill.
Catrina from 30 feet. Slightly uphill look for her birdie. Cash.
Nice.
Speaking of cash, everybody here gets $5,000 for making it to the semifinals.
That is unbelievable.
Yep, winner gets $35,000.
That's more than you win at a lot of
I know. Yeah.
pro tour events for first place.
They are getting better about that though. But second place gets $20,000, which was last year's top prize. So
And the biggest cash prize we had ever seen. So we're just breaking records. Kristin and Paige parting birdies.
easy birdies.
Hole 7. You want to get through this initial really narrow gap, and you want to just finish kind of dead straight. It fades a little bit to the right, but the important thing here is coming in softly because of this huge 15 to 20 foot drop off behind the basket. They just slapped an elevated pin there as well, just to add some fun on the screen.
Yeah, just to make your putt coming back 50 feet straight up is what it feels like.
Yep, or your putt coming down because you checked up early like you're supposed to. Setting up for some death putts. We'll see what they have to work with here. It's 375, losing 33 feet of elevation, so this one is reachable by everyone.
Yeah, tough though. You definitely have to give it some power to make this gap and progress down there. Wow.
That was a gnarly kick.
Mhm.
There is out of bounds over there. We'll see what she has to work with. It's pretty close.
Yeah, it doesn't really come into play later, I guess, but
Right off the tee.
right off the tee it is over there.
What a nice looking sidearm. This is coming in hot though.
Hitting high?
Yeah. And that's a great way to putt on this green, sideways.
Straight at it, yeah. Paige really leaning on these fierces in the woods.
Looks like the wind's kind of picking up out there as well. Lots of leaves falling. You can hear it rustling the tops of the trees.
That looks great. It does get caught up on the right side for Paige. I think she only has probably 80 feet left, though.
Still kind of a scary layup there. So
Actually,
close to the edge.
Surprised to see Ohn throwing backhand here as well, since hers tend to flex out and finish left. It's a pretty understable disc for Ohn.
She finds herself on the right side, maybe around circle 2, but in the woods. Catrina moving the spectator rope to take her mark. She was out of bounds, in fact, over the road, just trying to pitch through. And gets tangled up again, not quite finding the gap back to the center of the fairway.
She is on the edge here. She's going to attempt a little bit of a turnover sidearm.
Best she can do here is throw it in for a bogey or save a double. And that is a tester for double.
Yeah, not what you want. Paige deep in the woods here.
She got a pretty bad kick.
Too soft.
Oh boy, everyone really finding some fun spots on this hole.
Yeah, this plate is the most difficult hole of the day. More than half of the field taking a bogey or worse.
Thank you.
Good out from Ohn. I think she lands just outside the circle.
Paige throwing her third shot, just trying to get out and up to the green. She checks up right around 30 feet.
Catrina not even messing with it. Just lays up.
Kristin for birdie, and again, she doesn't mess with it either, just accepting the par. There was one birdie today. Missy Gannon got it. 2 pars, everyone else finding bogey strokes
Wow.
on hole 7. Just a little bit of a tester. Ooh,
Beautiful putt.
dead center. Nice bogey save.
Catrina taking a triple here. Ouch. Gets her to 2 over.
And it's going to be a battle fighting
Yeah.
back from there now.
I mean, Paige, even at 4 over, is still in it. Again, if any of these ladies tie the lower seeds, the 1 through 4 seeds will move on.
take the cake.
Yeah. Hole 8 is a par 4. It is 603 feet. Oh yeah, there's this like dry creek right here that is a perfect place if you can get just over it. It really sets you up nicely for another long tunnel shot.
So narrow.
Yeah, it's so narrow. Just look at this. I don't even need to say words. Just watch as the trees go by.
And both sides of the fairway is just absolute jail. So many little tiny trees. Perfect for blocking alternate routes through the sides.
Yeah, birdie is, I guess, theoretically possible here, but I don't think it's when you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to get this one, you know? Kristin throwing a St. Pro, keeping it in the middle. I think taking a little speed off and not trying to be too aggressive and just stay in the fairway is a great game plan for this one.
Yeah, this feels like one of those holes where you're okay with just throwing like 250 feet a couple of times and then having a long putt. Taking your par, moving on.
Ohn catches one of the last trees on the right. She is on the edge of the fairway, though.
The shape of this fairway feels like it would be difficult to throw back-to-back 300-foot shots to get the birdie.
Oh, man. Paige squares that tree, but not too bad of a kick. Hopefully she's not pinned up on that stump.
That light shining in is majestic. Catrina using that right side gap. Love that.
Looks great. Just needs to.
Wow.
Yep, just needs to do that. That's great.
Excellent ground play with a hyzer shot the rest of the fairway into the green.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of power too on Catrina's shot. Paige lining up this narrow gap here.
A little out of position, but she finds a way.
Definitely a little caught up on the right. Ohn working a sidearm, just picking the biggest gap you can see and hoping.
Oh,
Yeah, solid.
Kristin throwing a backhand turnover.
Yeah.
She still has quite a bit of distance to go.
But a pretty clean line. Oh, wow. Finds herself in circle 2.
That's
Easy.
a scary shot.
Easy par if nothing else, though.
Catrina with the longest drive off the box.
Yeah, she landed past that little bridge.
Turns a little bit too, or fades a little bit too early, but she'll have a long putt for birdie as well.
Ohn's third.
Oh, what a great approach.
Perfect speed control. Paige is finding some rough spots out here. That looks good, though. Wow.
Wow.
Great out.
Yeah, that's great. Tap and par.
Catrina definitely has a tree in the way here. Going Anheuser putt.
Oof, I thought she was just a wee bit closer than that, but a nice bid.
I love a good Anheuser putt.
She's so good at those little floaty ones.
Kristin just an inch low on her birdie run. Ohn from 22 feet or so. With a nice par.
And there were no birdies on the day on hole 8. We called it. We were right.
Turns out it's hard.
As they tap in, we notice that everyone's right in that little range that we talked about. We have one more hole on the front 9. It played us the second most difficult hole of the day. Kind of an uphill, downhill scenario. Very, very tight gaps the whole way. You kind of have to saw one off on the tee, and then the biggest part of the fairways on the second shot. It's more of a flex forehand type of a line, but this is another one where I think you're pretty happy with just chip, 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 just trying to get to the basket on this short par 5 that doesn't really match the angle of any disc that I know of. Lots and lots of narrow gaps, lots of jail on both sides of the fairway, and a final little downhill sprint, 20 feet of elevation loss as you get to this green.
Wow. Hole average 5.75 today.
Yeah. These middle 4 holes are just so brutal.
Yeah, when you look at it, 685 par 5, that sounds pretty easy, but then you actually look at the hole. It's a good shot from Kristin.
Yeah, I feel like that's all you can really ask for. You're just kind of looking at a wall of trees and hoping you check up right before. Ohn getting a pretty brutal kick to the right.
Yeah, I think just like a really gentle hyzer on the first shot is all you need. You don't really want to go push too far or fade too much. Paige doesn't sound happy with it, but that looks great.
Yeah, it pushed, I think, about as far as you can push deep. Works out really nicely.
It was only just a little early out of her hand. But Catrina gets most of the way up there. Gosh, look at these tiny gaps.
There's still so much left. It's 685 feet, but it just feels like a million.
Finding a tree on that flex shot, but seems happy with the result.
Yeah, just kind of pinballing up the fairway.
Paige with a nice open look at it. Wonder if he's going straight or trying to maybe start curving to the right.
She's definitely working that right
Yeah.
side.
Wow. There's those fierce shots we know and love.
That was beautiful. So rare to throw a shot that just finishes all the way completely with no tree.
A beautiful sound of silence.
Kristin catching that one guardian tree that she was trying to get around.
Catrina from a similar spot. Goes right of that tree. Gets a little skip and is in the fairway.
Even though it was a little low, that's fine on this par 5. It is so short, just chipping is okay every once in a while.
And Ohn and Kristin really dealing with a lot of these skinny fairway trees on the left.
If that flexes out, oh, that could have been great. It's tangled up a little early. She'll still be able to save par from there.
Yeah, she'll have an opportunity. Kristin's third shot.
Oh, yeah.
It's looking great.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice. I believe that was a verdict.
That was a really great example of just taking some off. She still covered a lot of ground, but didn't try to get all the way to the green.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Catrina catching an early tree right out of her hand. Thankfully, it sits down and doesn't careen off into the very jailed woods. It feels like so many shots watching everyone on this hole, a par 5 in the woods. It just feels like we're watching like 20 shots.
I mean, kind of.
I guess we are.
Yeah, like ideally 20, right?
Yep.
Oh, perfect layup from Ohn.
Paige opting for a little forehand flex. We haven't seen that from her as often lately.
Yeah, executed pretty well. Checks up at about 20 feet. Kristin with a final harp approach. She's going to be parked for her par.
This is Paige for birdie.
Oh, yeah. That's going to keep her in the mix, too, moving into the back.
Yep, getting her one back on one of the hardest holes on the course.
Really beautifully done. Just all with putters.
Not sure exactly where the cut line is right now. Oh.
Catrina just high on her par attempt.
But, I mean, if Paige and Catrina can get back to even par in the next couple of holes, just birdie the next 3, like, they're definitely in contention. It is not over yet.
No, definitely not. Ohn with a solid par. And Kristin tapping par.
Paige was the only birdie on the day.
Wow.
On hole 9.
So Ohn and Kristin 1 under par on the round. Paige and Catrina both 3 up.
Kristin with a fairly clean front 9. This makes it even more impressive watching Valerie go bogey-free on the front yesterday.
Yeah.
And Missy on the back. It does not get any easier out there.
Just gonna check in with the rest of the field here. Missy Gannon 2 down through 11, leading the way so far. Valerie Mandujano hanging onto that 4th spot with a 1 over, so only 2 strokes ahead of Paige and Catrina. Holland Hanley 4 back, and Evelina struggling a bit at 7 over.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too much work to do, but there's a lot that can go wrong on the back nine at this course. So
And a
many
lot that
choice.
can go right. Let's be optimistic.
Yeah, you're totally right. Let's be optimistic, especially about our VIP members. You guys are the best. We got 9 more holes. Hope you guys enjoyed the front. Let's watch the back all together. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Hot Geese.
Honk.